Let's talk about Ken Carson's label deal. So a new interview came out. I think it was with like AMP, but not AMP from YouTube. I believe it's like Amazon's podcast platform or something. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just a brand. But anyway, he did an interview and he was claiming that he finished A Great Chaos, which is the new project that he's been working on for the last year or so. It's like this more grungy type vibe to it. We've been hearing snippets. I'm not too impressed by it, so I'm gonna let y'all know my opinion as to why the project might not be dropping. But here's what he said. The interviewer asked, talking about the album, when can fans expect it? He says, I don't know. If I said time, I'd be lying. I don't know. What's the percentage of you would say is done? I'm 100% done. So he's legit done with the whole process, is turned in, the whole project, I mean. What's the holdup then? So you can't even say before the end of the year? It ain't me. I'd be lying if I said if I gave you anything. So it's in the label's hands. Yeah, yo, it's already ready. So when Save the World was on stream, like I want to say a couple months ago, maybe a month ago, I don't know, time flies at this point. But I was saying how I don't think that the label's letting him drop it. Y'all can blame Cardi, y'all can blame Interscope. I don't care who you're blaming. It's probably a little bit of both. We already know Cardi's whole release schedule and just demeanor with actual rollouts, wherein, you know, he wants to build up a lot of hype before he drops something, and it has to be to a certain level of quality or being different, like evolving something. Just, you know, you're not just gonna drop the same shit over and over, which I feel like to this point, you know, X, y'all know my opinion on that project. I didn't really like it all too much when it released because I just felt like it was kind of, rage was already over with, it was oversaturated, and he was one of the pioneers of that sound. Like, I still think Project X is like the peak project for this whole underground era of 2021, 2022, 20, those are the 2 years. I was about to say 2020, but no, it was after a whole lot of red. But then X was kind of just like an exaggerated form of it. I was like, I'm 27 years old, like I can't be listening to this all day or else I'm gonna start doing crack in the middle of the day and then my girl's gonna leave me. So with this project, I feel like grunge, he's saying he's doing for A Great Chaos. I feel like Cardi probably wants him to level up his game a little bit. And if you think about it, Destroy Lonely with If Looks Could Kill, it ended up sounding like 30K or 28 or something. Now, the single for that project, If Looks Could Kill, was a snippet that was blowing up on TikTok. I feel like Ken Carson doesn't really have one of those songs. And as we've seen from a lot of like label executives or just producers or label owners, just people like Taz Taylor or anybody who's actually in the know of what's going on with these label business deals, they're not going to just like they're not going to give you like 100K for a marketing budget if you're not blowing up a snippet organically, because then you're just throwing money away. And so therefore, Ken doesn't really have that going for him right now, although I know he has a big organic fan base. You can claim that it's coming from Cardi, which I believe some of it is, but he's still like him and Lone and Yeet and Fago, like they're running this shit right now. But like if you don't have that one single to promote the album, they're just not going to let you drop it. So I think that's what they want from him. So I think he wants it, Cardi and the label want Ken Carson to like make a banger project, because it is time. If you think about it, like already Lone, we've seen, has passed Ken Carson in like a matter of a year because he actually got shit moving online and on social media, whereas Ken has had plenty of time to do this, although again, Project X was a banger album. So I just think that again, like he's not dropping the best of quality music. And even the snippets that are blowing up is with Destroy Lonely. So they might use that. I think I can't remember what the actual snippet is. They're getting like millions of plays on SoundCloud themselves, but that's off the back of Destroy Lonely. You know what I mean? I just don't know if he has all too much hype for A Great Chaos, like by himself, especially if he's not making anything that's groundbreaking or like something that's gonna blow him up to the max. You know, there's not like a lot of potential that the label says, at least in their perspective. Ken is better than Lone. You can say whatever you want, like subjectively. I'm talking about straight up numbers. You can love Ken Carson's music, but if like it's not streaming as much as the label wants, they're not gonna let you release a project. Like, that's just way too much money on the line. This is a business after all. And I do think he can make it back, but being signed to Opium, like, there is kind of an expectation that you, or a threshold that you have to meet. Like, as we all know, Cardi like is not dropping for like 3 to 4 years, and like he's always expected to completely take over the internet every time he drops with like a new sound. So being under him, you have to do at least like a certain extent the same thing, or at least that's what I would think that he's expecting out of his artist. Ken is literally the same amount of monthly listeners as Lone. I get it, bro. I get it. However, he has a lot more studio projects under his belt, because if you think about it, all Lone had was No Stylist and If Looks Could Kill. Ken had X2. He had, although that was a deluxe, he had Project X, and then he even like started to get the cosign for, I think it was like Teen X or one of those projects. Teen X Relapse, that was after the Cardi cosign. Now, that's not taking anything away from what I've said before, that Ken is like one of the reasons that Opium is so successful, because if he didn't blow up first as the first artist under Opium, then like, I don't know, a lot less people would be paying attention to every other artist that Cardi signed. So Ken has only dropped Project X. Okay, whatever you want to say, X did not do as well as If Looks Could Kill, so I don't want to hear it. Like, Ken has been in the game longer and he's gotten passed by Destroy Lonely. Okay, he's not hitting 20k even first week sales. So again, when you're at this certain level, like even Yeet, like we kind of categorize Ken, Lone, and Yeet in the same level as like almost mainstream. Yeet is definitely mainstream. Lone is kind of on the brink of it as well, because he's doing numbers like he's even beating Coi Leray. He's beating a lot of mainstream artists. Same thing with Lucky. So if we're gonna put them in that category, like, and you want the free will to drop whenever you want, you have to be him. Basically, you have to be able to be doing those numbers. And I just don't feel like these snippets for A Great Chaos are doing as well. Now, if you want to dick ride and be like, oh, he's the best thing ever, again, it's not even about that. It's about the money and the numbers. Look, you can call me wrong all you want, but I'm just telling you how the business works. Acting like Paranoid doesn't exist. We literally discussed that song. I said that is a collab with Destroy Lonely. Now, I get that you can get hype off of a single for your project with a feature, and that'll help. However, that's kind of more saying that there's more backing from the fans behind Destroy Lonely than Ken Carson. Okay, Kel-Tec was before. I don't give a fuck what you want to say. I don't think the music is all too great lately. And honestly, again, the facts are pointing in the same direction. Y'all are just dick riding. If they're not letting him drop, the only reason that a label would not want you to drop music is because they don't think it's gonna make money. That's like saying someone comes to you and is like, hey, I'm gonna give you this music and you're gonna make $1 million off of it, okay? But if they're, as an investor, if they're saying, I don't think I'm gonna make my $1 million back, they're gonna be like, no, I don't wanna do that. That's literally all it is. You guys start, or a lot of people in the chat, y'all start like bringing in all of these external factors. It just comes down to if it's gonna make money. Now you can say like Cardi is going on tour and maybe they want to build up more hype by taking him on tour, and Lone and Homicide Gang, and if Cardi is there, obviously it's going to bring them more fans. However, I feel like it's gotten to the point where like everybody who's a Cardi fan, or at least the people who like still listen to underground and are willing to give newer artists a chance, they will like they already listen to Ken, or they already know who he is. So I just don't understand the logic behind it. And maybe Cardi wants to drop too, but I like that whole scrap single. That was all cap, in my opinion. Like I don't think anyone truly knows what's going on in Cardi's camp. I don't even think Cardi knows. And I think they just get mad when shit leaks and then they claim it like ruins their whole plans, when again, they had like, when did that song come out first? When did it leak? Like The Wicked or something. It actually didn't leak. The snippet didn't surface until recently, but still, he's been talking about that song since early 2022. It is like over mid 2023. So he's had over a year to drop that shit. They trying to buy it for 15K. Okay, there you go. So like if he actually really wanted to drop it, just drop this song. You can make your money back. Really sad we're not getting, see, that's another thing. Like, again, if they wanted to capitalize on this tour that you guys keep saying, they would just drop music beforehand and they would get everyone to drop new music. Because how many times have they performed for X, X2, Project X, If Looks Could Kill? How many times they performed that at festivals? How many times has Cardi performed a Whole Lot of Red? So yes, they may go on tour, but like if you've seen the ticket sales, like they're kind of hurting. They're starting to cancel shows, postpone them because they might have bit off more than they can chew. And so therefore, like the only logical thing from a business side of things, it has nothing to do with business or logic whatsoever. It's just Cardi and the label just wanting to be super rare. But like ultimately it is about the money. Like I don't know why you wouldn't want to care about that. That is your job. Like you would want to sell more tickets by at least dropping a single. And for other people saying the rollout's an L, like ultimately Cardi doesn't have to do anything specific because he knows he's got his fans' balls in his hand. Like he could legit do anything. He just squeezes one bit, like just like post on Instagram a fake cover art like he already did, and then all of a sudden the hype is all the way back. Like he's literally in control of the whole music game right now. I think we know that. A lot of these bigger artists aren't dropping. Even Cardi's not dropping, but every single, it's not even just my page, but if you go on Rap or whatever, like when Cardi's posted, everybody starts paying attention, you know? Like he's got the highest engagement. He's even grown significantly since Whole Lot of Red, which I was going to talk about later, just by doing literally nothing. Ken Carson hit the lucky effect. I've been seeing a lot of comparisons to him because I feel like that's just rappers when they get money, you know, they have more money to buy nice food and like travel around and do cool shit. So like they're not starving, like they're not at home like with their family, or they have way more than just a couple $100s to pay for food every week or month. And so like when you start eating better, and I'm not talking about like health wise, like when you start eating steak and potatoes and rice every day, like you're bound to gain some weight. I do think that originally I always thought I was like, I should be a fucking like entertainment space trainer. Not that I'm like uber jacked, but like I definitely know what I'm doing. I eat well. It'd be kind of cool to teach these people, but I don't think they would even pay for that. I know how much these rappers spend, like 50K a month on some bullshit. You think they're gonna pay like $5,000 a month to train you or whatever? No sir, they want to just fuck around and do drugs and record, and you know that's their lifestyle. I get it. I'm like a regular guy, so it's way different. Yeah, I'm not doing X every day, I can tell you that.